Greetings and salutations, my name is JW608. Today I am playing StarMade, and we are back with the factory ship and my horrible concoction of logic stuff. That could probably be done better, but it's going to work for right now. I have my clock off, and today I would like to build a sensor. Alright, so what do we need for a sensor? Well, first of all, you're going to need to place the sensor and an activation module. The sensor block looks like that. Do not CV the sensor to it, or to the activation module. Just don't. Alright, now, what else does the sensor need? Well, it needs a input. So I'm going to grab this activation module, which is attached to my clock. So every time the clock ticks, and yeah, I know it's not the fastest clock on Earth, but it's good enough for my purposes here. So every tick of the clock, it's going to cause the sensor to do a check. Alright, now I'm going to need some activation modules. I'm going to put in 10. We're going to connect them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 10. Alright, we're going to connect them all. This means for every tick here, it's going to check for 10%. So now it's going to check to see if whatever I hook this to is above 20%, 30%, 40%, so on and so forth. So let's grab this and let's hit V on one of these reactor modules. Alright. Turn our clock on. And our power is above 0%. We're running, let's see, 2.9% right now. Nope, stop that. Crazy ship. Right. We're running at 2.9%. So 2.9 is greater than 0, therefore this sensor turns on this activation module. And again, do not attach this with CV, just put it adjacent to it. Now, if I click here, now it's checking to see is power above 10%. It's not, so every time that clock ticks, it checks is power above 10, is power above 10, is power above 10, so on and so forth. And it's not, so it's going to turn off that activation module. But if I turn it here, notice we're running 14.4% power. See, and now it is... Oh. Come on. There we go. Come on, work with me. Oh, hopping into... Wait a minute, something's not right here. There we go, 14.4% power. It is above 10%, so it's going to stay on, ticked on. It is no longer above 20%, so it's going to stay ticked off. That's not right. It says it's using 2.9%. That's got to be a... But anyway, as long as it doesn't read that we're using that much, I don't really care. Alright, so I want to say if ever we hit above 90%, I want to take all these breakers. So if we go to 90% usage, I want to turn off all the factories on the ship. So, how am I going to do that? Okay, this is going to be a little tricky. These are my breakers, we established last time. And I would like a knot for each of them. A knot for each of them. Let's see. And I would like a and. No, I don't want the and to be attached to anything. Just the and here. Oh my, this looks atrocious. Alright, I do want all those to be attached. And let's cycle them all on. Well, not all on. Now, let's hit this. Let's see, the flip-flop's on, so I want you to be... What's the knot? Oh, the knot, never mind. I had the knot in a different... Duh. I had the knot in a different setup because I had a red light attached to it. So you don't need the knot. Ignore the knot. I wanted these flip-flops to be going to these ands. Alright, flip-flops to these ands, and this activation module going to these ANDs as well. And the ANDs connecting back into their flip-flops. Well, this seems very complicated. It probably is overly complicated for what I'm doing. Right, so, what did I just do? Alright. But if ever this trips, it's going to check to see, first of all, it's going to check to see, is power above 90%? If it is, it's going to turn this activation module on. Notice it's turning off because the clock's saying, no, that's wrong, turn it back off. But I can trip it myself using just hitting it like that. But, what was I saying? I don't know, something important. Oh, this feeds into each AND. So the AND is going to check, is this on, or is this on, and is the flip-flop on? So if I turn on this flip-flop and that one and these two, watch the ANDs when I press the button. They didn't fire. Why didn't they fire? Well, oh, probably because it was so quick. But in this case, it says, oh, this is on and this one's on, so that's not good. Turn this flip-flop off. That's what the AND feeding back into itself along with this activation module. So that means, let's turn all these back on. What are we running? We're running 2.9 power. Let's take this down to back to 10%. Let's turn this back on. This means that should have kicked off all of our. Yep, it did. It kicked off all of our breakers. And that's what a breaker's for. And I'm going to leave this up here so I can choose the percentage. So I have it set up so now that 90% kills all the factories. So that way, if I'm somehow caught in battle or trying to jump or whatever, the factories will turn off if they need to so they don't get in the way. And let's see, I want this to control this red light. So if power does go too high, no, it is above 0. Yeah, if it's above 0, power goes too high, it throws on this red light. You go, oh no, the light is red, something's wrong. Wow, an awful big truck ran by my window for this little street I live on. Alright, there we go. Who's actually pulling? Huh. How much power do those actually pull? Well, that's probably something I should have looked at before I started all this. Consumers, salvage unit, that's, I don't want a salvage unit, I want a factory unit. Rail, mass, salvage, shield, scanner. Current, its mode is charging, shield, or rail mass. Huh. Okay, I don't see it actually pulling. Probably because the factories on ships is a relatively experimental thing. So, yeah. There we go. So now I have it set up so if I'm pulling too much power, it kills the factories, all the factories. Anything on this breaker box, or anything tied to this breaker box, will get killed if power goes above 90%. Now if it goes above 60%, it'll die. If it goes above 100%, you can customize this. In fact, you can add 100 of activation modules, and if you want to set it to 13%, you activate 13 of them. If you set 200 and you want it to be 13.5, you activate 27 of them? Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying 90%, that seems like a good number to me. I guess you could do 75% fractions. You can fraction it up any way you want. I just figured having 10 here would be easier to read it fast. And I'm going to leave this kind of open here so I can customize. In fact, this room here might be, I might leave this room on the second floor access to this so I can be like a maintenance hatch, something like that. So no, I need to readjust the breakers. Let's see if it's 40%. And they don't have to be any particular order. There, make it pretty. 50%. That's 90. I want that one. No, that one will be off. So at 90%, it'll kill the breakers. Or trip the breakers, I guess is a better way to put that. Huh. Alright. And that's basically how a sensor works. And you can use sensors for other things. Let's see if I wanted to I'll just do a quick sensor here and attach it to, I don't know, attach it to 5 of those. Do this and tie off the same clock and attach this to, well, I can't attach those sensors to thrusters. And if the thrusters are more than 50%, it'll trigger. Oh. I can't see it and do it at the same time. I guess I could do a thing with the camera. That would probably work better. Huh. Must have wired something up wrong. Or is it 50% of max speed? I don't remember. I don't remember exactly how the... There it goes, it's of max speed. It is an acceleration. So if I hit 50% of max speed, or more than 50% of max speed, it triggers. You do all types of nifty things. I don't even know where my... and it works in reverse, too. I don't know where my asteroid went. Nah, it doesn't matter. It was mostly gone anyway. There you go. Say you wanted an emergency light. Well, I'm not in build mode. Stop that. Emergency light, say, oh, if you hit 75% of your max speed, this red light on the bridge comes on. So, let's turn it off for right now. And let's readjust our camera. And we speed up. We go, wee! Yep, see, when we went past 75%, red light came on. And goes off. It doesn't go on immediately at 75% because it's only checking every time that clock ticks. Or probably a better thing to do for us would be to hit storage. Now, if this storage is 75% full, this will, or now if it's more than, or if it's 0 or more percent full, it's going to turn on. So we can do something like that. And then have a red light on the bridge saying, oh, cargo's full, dummy. Now if it's 75% full, the red light will come on. And something like, actually, that's probably not a bad idea to do something like that. I don't think they can share activation modules. Right, so let's just hook up a second don't want that, a second module, and let's run another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, tell you what, let's not do that. Let's go to the other side of the room and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're also going to wire that to the main cargo. And this is going to light up a red light over here. I'm going to swap that out. Definitely going to swap that out. And let's label these circuits so I know what they're doing. Cargo. And power. Alright. Those are just labels. When I come back and say, what on earth does this do? I don't have to hunt it down. I say, oh, it's cargo. Alright. And let's label these as well. Power. And these are temporary labels. I'm not going to be using, I'm going to be making them better. Cargo. Alright. I might not even use this as a room. I don't know yet. This whole design here is up for editing. But anyway, that is how to use sensor blocks for real easy things like checking cargo. And why are you... Oh, because I don't have a clock going to the... There we go. And again, we're going to have this light set up so it's a little prettier. And maybe it can even be seen from whatever mining camera I have set up. Now, I don't have one set up on this inventory, but I want this one to pull from that one, so this is more of a buffer. It'll be checking to see if the main's full, because if the main's full, I should be able to have my reaction time to stop before the buffer fills up. Alright. Anywho, I've been JW608, this has been StarMade, and this has been, I think this is the bulk of my, my factory logic. Alright. I've had fun, and I'll see you later.